little frosty out today. Whew, it is a cold one here today. So the high for the day, we're at the warmest it's going to be, and I believe, yeah, 27 degrees. Well, after a nice long day of work, especially when it's really cold outside, I always like to have a nice comfort food. For me, comfort food is probably pizza. And am I going to order it? No. Why? Two reasons. One, I'm cheap. And two, I like to make my own from what we had in the garden. So I'm going to make some pizza tonight, but there's one problem, guys. I do not have any pizza sauce. So what does that mean? That means for today's video, we're going to make some pizza sauce. Let's head on inside and I'll show you how we do it. So for this recipe, you're going to need 2 jars or cans of tomatoes, oregano, 4 cloves of garlic, anchovies. This is optional, but it'll give you a nice meaty flavor, and salt to taste. So start off with just a tiny bit of olive oil. You're going to want to heat this very low, about medium-low heat. Then you're going to crush up your 4 cloves of garlic. Now, of course, you can cut them up too. I just like to crush it. I just like the consistency and the sauce a little better. And from there, you're going to go ahead and add in your oregano, dried or fresh. Obviously, fresh would be great, but we're going with what we got, dried. Then we add in anchovies. Guys, I'm telling you, don't knock it till you try it. It gives it a nice meaty flavor, which is absolutely awesome. I promise you, you will not be able to taste it even in there, and it'll just add to that richness. And then I just get a spatula in there and I just kind of whisk this all together. Again, on a pretty low heat. You don't want to burn the garlic especially. You just want it to lightly sizzle and get everything blended in as best as you can. Again, anchovies, way to go. So once it starts to bubble just a little bit and that garlic starts to get a little brown, that's where the magic happens. You'll start to smell it a little more. And from there, we're going to go ahead and take our jars of tomatoes. Now, the tomatoes that I grew were San Marzanos. It was the first year I ever tried using them. Loved them. I thought they did fantastic. They grew very well. And very, very little seeds and a lot of pulp, which is pretty much what you want for any type of sauce tomato. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough. I had 8 plants, and I've already used up all of my tomatoes. So what you're going to do is kind of mix that around a little bit. At this point, you're going to want to increase the heat to about a medium-high heat. And you can put this in a blender prior to, I guess. But I like my pizza sauce just a wee bit chunky. But get your spatula in there and you're just going to kind of crush that around, mix it around, and get those flavors all infused together. Now go ahead and add your salt to taste here. It's really going to depend on just how salty really you like your pizza sauce at this point. And then go ahead and mash all those tomatoes in really well. We want to get that nice and broken up. There, we're going to do 1 teaspoon of sugar. The only reason I do that is because it actually brings out the saltiness a little bit more when you have something sweet. So just a teaspoon is all you need. And then from there, I go ahead and add more oregano in there. I just love the taste of oregano on pizza sauce. That's just how I am. And let that simmer for quite a while. What we're going to do is we're going to try to get this basically simmered down and reduced down to a sauce-like consistency, obviously. Get your ladle there And it's still a little soupy there, so you're going to want to keep it on the heat until you get something that's a little more chunky. So at the very end, what you can do is go ahead and get that broken up a little bit more if you need to. Put it in a blender, like I said, if you want to, if you like something really, really smooth. Otherwise, just go ahead and whisk it. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and just pour that into our jar. Now, you can can this. You can keep it in the fridge, depending on how soon you're going to eat it. But at that point, you are all done. As the famous saying goes, boom goes the dynamite. Pizza sauce. So if you ever wonder why I got so many tomato plants, it's for stuff like this. I had 8 tomato plants, and we probably got close to 9 to 10 jars of canned tomatoes out of it. Guys, that was my last 2 tomatoes that I just used up. So if you wonder why people plant a lot of tomatoes, they're probably doing something pretty similar to what I do, either pizza sauce or salsa or marinara sauce. Incidentally, with marinara sauce, it is pretty much the exact same process. The only difference is that instead of oregano, you're going to use basil. Okay? So, and that's just from me. Other people might have different takes on it, but for me, pizza sauce, you got to have the oregano. Marinara sauce, you got to have the basil, and fresh basil at that, which is another good thing to grow inside, which we do. So just another example of something that you can make from your own garden, from stuff that you grow. You know where it's coming from. You know what's in it, and you know what's not in it. So guys, thanks again for tuning in. Hey, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button at the end of this. We would greatly appreciate it. We love bringing these videos to you. Till next time, this is Jeremy of Fleetwood Patch saying, God bless.